my life was a lot different and my life looked a lot different. And what I thought my life was going to be like was a lot different. And so coming here, obviously, people I feel like are so ungrateful here. They don't realize the like amount of opportunities that they have. And coming here as an immigrant, it's a little bit harder because you're always, I think most people that I've talked to, we always feel behind. Like we're a step behind. Yeah. Like we just didn't catch up on time. Like we just need a little bit more, right? Because realistically speaking, like we have to come here and learn the language, right? So we have to learn the language. We're learning a whole new culture. We're learning a whole new way to live. People think differently. People act differently. They treat you differently. So it's a lot going on already that you're trying to become adjusted to. On top of that, there's like overwhelming amounts of information and things out there that is kind of like impossible for you to like know everything, especially if you come here and you don't know anybody. Yeah. It's hard to gain resources. It's hard to know where the resources are. It's hard to ask sometimes because sometimes people don't help you and don't want to help you, right? Because a lot of people have this complex that I want you to do good but not better than me.
And we are back.
We're back, guys.
We are back. Never too shy.
Never too shy.
Can you believe, again, like we're on season 4.
I love it.
That's crazy.
And today we have a special guest. Special guest, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Fiamma.
She's an OG viewer.
A.K.A. Tati's bestie.
My bestie for the restie. Okay. Dave, I think viewers, you guys heard me reference Fiamma like at least 19 times.
Thank you.
In the season?
Yeah, and Fiamma, right?
Yes.
Okay, I want to know that I'm getting it right. So Fiamma isn't just Tati's bestie, but she's actually been watching the show. So she's probably gonna give us a lot of the tea that we might not see ourselves.
A different perspective,
yeah, I love
right?
that.
Different
like
POV.
the other
sure.
side of the camera, in front of the laptop, in front of the TV.
Yeah.
We're gonna get all the tea.
Maybe some constructive criticism.
I'm ready for it all, right?
Let's do it. No, it's fine.
It's never
fine.
too shy, right? And we know Fiamma's not going to be shy. But before we get started, Fiamma, where can they follow you? What's your handle?
My handle is at Fiamma. It has 3 A's. We might need to cut this part because I forgot how it's spelled.
It's okay. We'll tag you on there.
I changed it not so long ago because I wanted to make it
That's
short,
real.
and I don't know if it has like underscores first. So I'll look it up. And
We always put it on the screen, so you'll be fine. So you know how we start the
Wait, we gotta say ours.
No, I want. Oh,
Yeah,
no, we're gonna do it at the end.
at Talk with Tati and
Tati.
the Brow Bro.
We always do it in
We
the
always do it at
beginning.
the end.
What is going on here?
No, we do it in the beginning.
Follow them at Talk with
We have
Tati
to
and the
introduce
Brow
who
Bro.
we are.
Oh my god, I don't know why I feel like we always do it towards
You
the
know
end.
what? Listen, we just had a solar
But Fiamma
eclipse.
knows this show
I
because
already
she watches
said
it all the
Is in
time.
reggaeton. Okay, Fiamma, introduce us. How about that? Go.
So you can follow Tatiana at Talk with Tati, and you can follow Nestor at the Brow Bro.
Period. This is OG.
Oh my gosh, she really.
Okay,
We're
so
gonna
what are we gonna
start
do
the
next,
podcast
Fiamma?
with our daily affirmations.
Do you want to go
so
first?
I can go first. So my daily affirmation is going to be we have more similarities than differences.
Okay, why? I like it.
So I've found myself in a new journey this year, and I was actually talking to one of my friends yesterday, and we were talking about how diverse our group of girls is, and in our conversation, I was like, you know what? Like, it's because we have more similarities than we have differences, and I think we embrace all of our differences instead of like, I don't know, like being
picking at it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, if everybody could think of it this way, I think we could all get along because we would find common ground in most things. But a lot of people don't look at differences that way.
You know what's crazy? That I just made a post about this.
Really?
Yeah, I made a post about it because you know when you can feel like people's energy. Like I'm big on that.
Yeah,
I can
same.
feel people's energy. Whether it's someone said the other day, like, oh, like you can come across as a certain way to people, and because of that, sometimes people, don't like you. But I'm like, what? Are you serious? I feel like I'm very like embracive to people, but I don't know if that's a word. Is that a word?
Sure.
Warm.
But
Yeah, sure.
but I feel like I sense that, and so I'm learning to not let it affect me, that energy, but I put that with the intention to like, and then like I'm having these differences with like some of my friends. And so I put it with the intention of them knowing like no one's out to get you.
Yeah.
No one thinks they're better than you. Like, just know that, you're not battling me or you're not battling this other person. Like,
Yeah.
we all are people and we're all trying to like be the best version of ourselves.
I think sometimes like we try to embrace other people's differences, but they don't embrace their own like differences. And that's what makes you unique. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of like trying to love somebody that doesn't accept your love as it comes. It's kind of like, we can get into that later, but
Yeah.
go ahead.
Hey, that was really good.
I can't stand her.
I'm gonna put them.
Not me taking charge.
Maybe it'll help.
No, but it's a good thing because remember originally I was like, "Do you want to go there?" And I was like, "No, that would be bad."
I kind of
Fiam
feel
and
like I want you to
Fiam
be
and
here.
I
and I'm
can't
gonna
be here.
But anyways, go ahead.
Okay, I thought it was so funny. Hold on. See, this is gonna be either really good or really bad. But Fiamma was staring at the camera the whole time she was talking. Like, we're here too, girl. That's how you know she watches.
is that what-
Anyway, my affirmation is the magic is in the work you're avoiding. And for me, I feel like just this weekend, I felt slightly overwhelmed with like my workload and the things I have to do and like kind of put my big girl panties on. And I spent a lot of time complaining this weekend just about like, ugh, I'm dreading doing this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to have to take this time out of my summer to do this. But it's like, I have to remember the end game and the end goal. And that's where the magic is. And I'm like procrastinating all the steps that lead up to that. And I'll never find the magic unless I face the work I need to face.
Yeah.
So that resonated with me specifically with just like feeling extremely overwhelmed, kind of feeling this kind of imposter syndrome of like, am I really like ready for this? Because it's going to be very hard, requiring a lot of sacrifices. And so for me, it's just remembering like, you want this for a reason. You deserve this. You're going to work hard. It's not going to be easy, but you're going to do it. That's mine.
That's a lot.
That's very true.
I'm trying to take it in. So mine is 3 words. No, I can't, and I won't.
Oh.
And to me, that's just my way of trying to create boundaries with people. What do you guys?
I can't stand him.
I was
What-
like, that's 5 words. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
I mean,
Nestor, go ahead.
I meant to say sentences, I guess.
We're in a silly mood.
Oh my
I'm sorry.
God, there's 2 English teachers. Anyways, I just thought about that.
I'm sorry.
It still hit. It still hit. It still hit though.
No, but
It still hit.
I just realized that.
Tati looked at me and I looked at her. We both
I'm like, wait.
thought the same thing.
I'm like, wait. I started counting them. I'm like, wait. No, I can't. I will. Actually, it's 5 words. Sorry, guys.
It still hit though.
It's still good. It's
It
still
was
good.
still really good. Yeah.
This is all the guest's fault. So.
Yeah, it's Fiamma's. She brought cookie.
No,
energy.
this is good. This is good. This is good, but that's crazy. I didn't catch that. No, I can't. 5. Was it 5 or 6 words? No, I
it's 5
can't,
words.
and
It
I.
was more than 3.
6.
It was less than 10. Like,
Anyways, dang. Okay.
Okay, you're creating boundaries.
I'm creating boundaries, but
say no.
But yeah, so just creating boundaries. I feel like I've been in a couple situations this past week, and then actually the past weeks,
Low key, I feel like the past year.
and I just feel like
No, really. No,
yeah,
I feel
and
like people try you.
I just feel like because people have the way people work. they, I guess, have a certain perception of people right away when you have a first encounter with somebody or a first conversation with somebody. I think they can already in their minds put together the way they're gonna treat you or they're not gonna treat you.
First
You know?
impressions.
Yeah. So I'm not like that. I'm more like, I keep trying the person. I mean, not trying them, but,
But like testing the waters.
yeah,
like,
I just
see-
keep seeing like what it is with this person.
Even if they give you a bad impression the first time you meet them.
Yeah, I can have my assumptions already, and also they can say stuff that prove my assumptions.
Yeah.
And so, but I think I'm the person that I don't know. I like to always. I think
See for yourself.
I think I talk about it a lot. I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I think I'm coming into realization that adults don't work like that. You know that adults are. There's a saying why they say that to be like a little kid in a sense, like to be as pure as a little kid as far as the way you think. You know, it's like a Christian scripture, I think. But a lot of times adults are not like that. Adults are very blunt, are very direct, are very like everybody. I guess because at that age you already know where you're going, what you want to do. And so I feel like I do feel like I have to be more like that, but also I'm very on the fence about it because I feel like a part of me is not like that. You know what I mean? I want to give you an example. For example, the guys at work that work with us, I always give them like the discount. You know, I give them a friend discount, and so I don't tell them, okay, like this is what you need to pay me, and you know, because I just feel like the way
Why not? It's your business.
yeah, it's because it is my business, but also it's the way I do business.
Okay.
You know. And so I think I've
fair.
always
I like that.
I've always been on the fence. This the same guy that I had to tell him what price it was because they tried to put a certain level of accountability on me that I felt like it was just more like hating.
So you feel like they're overstepping almost?
I think they were overstepping for whatever reason. Or
Accountability or expectation?
both.
Okay.
I think it was both. And I'm like, oh, like that. That's how we're doing things. So, okay, let's do things like that then, you know. But I was kind of just giving the same energy back. But then I realized, and this is where I'm kind of on the fence, because I want to create boundaries, but at the same time, I don't want to lose sight of who I am as a person and the way I do things, you know. Like, it's okay if the way you do things and the way you are is like that, it's okay. But also, I don't want to feel like I'm superior than somebody else because I want to look at myself as a nice person, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think
but
you can
that's-
do both.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, eventually I think you'll discover like balance within yourself.
Yeah.
Where you can do both. You can have boundaries and you can still be like, don't lose essence of who you are, because I think that's important to you. But you can definitely do both. And I think you should, because it's also going to be good for your business for you to like stand on business.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not out here giving out free services to the
Yeah.
whole
No,
world.
of course.
But I feel like I have found a balance. I feel like people keep questioning and trying based on their first impression of me and based on the way that I feel very well balanced. I feel like people at times are like just crazy, mean, like they're just, you know, like a certain type of way that I'm not. And I'm like, okay, like, you know, like I'm taken back by that, you know. And so again, not to feel like I'm better than anybody else, but I feel like it keeps happening. But it's just like life telling me like, okay, this is how adults are, and this is the real world. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I think that's something that we're going to continue to be tested with. We're going to continue to build on. But I think that's good that no, I can't and I won't. All 6 words or 5.
6.
Whatever. I think that's great, and I think that's something more people need to do more often, but there's a way to do it, right? It's not like forget you no. Like there's just sometimes people just need to say no and not offer an explanation. Like just no. Doesn't have to be rude, but it's just like no, I can't.
But
won't.
I think mine comes from like and this is where like I have to really think about it because it can come across like, oh, you want to do me like that? Then I'm gonna do you like this. So it kind of comes like it's not, I wouldn't say genuine. I guess it's not genuine because I don't want to be like that, you know, in certain cases. I want to be a certain way and that's just the way I am. But I feel like I'm almost forced to being like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be like that. But it's like your energy is
But
throwing
some
me
people,
off.
you're required to be like that because some people don't know the difference between kindness and weakness or taking advantage. You give them an inch, they want a foot. So like those are the people you have to.
And then the thing is like, how do you be more direct than saying like, okay, so this is the energy you're giving me, so this is the energy you're getting back.
Just like that.
Because
Just like that.
but then I feel like again you start losing who you are.
Not if you're being honest with the other party. Because then if you're like making up and like tiptoeing around it, then you're kind of losing who you are. Because then you can't be honest with how you feel.
The other side to this is that you start becoming, I feel like, more and more, I wouldn't say mean, but you start becoming
Cold.
more and more cold. And so they got something out of you that you were supposed to, as a person, as your adult self, you're becoming more solid in who you are, you know? And so then they remain the same way they are, whether it's cold or whether it's direct or whether it's however they are, you know. I don't want to demonize that way of being, but you start changing and becoming colder, and this is not, I feel like you don't shine the way you're supposed to shine because now you've changed who you are.
But
So why
go
is
ahead.
this important to you? The setting boundaries? Because if you really think about it, yeah, you have a point. Like they may feel that way, but the way I would look at it, if it was me setting the boundaries, I wouldn't look at it like as if I lost something. I think like when you start setting boundaries, you have to think less of how it's gonna be perceived and more about like what you're going to gain from it. Because essentially setting boundaries is for your benefit. It's not for the benefit of the other person. It's for you, whether you want to protect your peace, whether it is that you want to like teach people how to treat you and set those like boundaries is kind of like a way for people to respect you and for you to honor yourself. So I wouldn't see it as like you're losing yourself. If anything, you're trying to protect the essence of who you are. And sometimes when you're like a very kind person, people will often try to take advantage of you because they see that you're kind and try you over and over again. That's why boundaries are great, because then you put your foot down and you're like, no.
Yeah. And to piggy off of that, I think what I was trying to say earlier is like you can say no, I can't and I won't without like an attitude. It doesn't mean you're being mean. It's just like no, that's not gonna work. I'm sorry. Like that's it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like, I'm so sorry. I can't. No, just you're not being rude. You're still being who you are, but it's just giving a clear boundary. And I'm not saying to like stoop to a level and be like, you don't deserve that. I'm not saying doing that, but like it's something as simple as saying no, I can't and I won't, exactly like you said, but
The 6
without
words.
giving without the follow up of an explanation, because you don't owe that.
And I think I do that a lot. I do over explain myself because I'm an empath, and so I feel like I always have to do that.
I'm an empath too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard.
But you're not
It's hard in
responsible also for other people's. I mean, it sounds mean to say you're not responsible for their feelings.
And you know what? It's not, I don't feel that it's not like I don't have, like, this is Nestor and he has no fucking boundaries. Like, I don't feel like, even if it comes across to people, and this is one of the reasons why I stopped drinking, because I feel like when I was drinking, there was boundaries, other boundaries that I didn't have that I should have, you know?
Okay, yeah.
And so anything that I do, like from, you know, who I do business to who I sleep with, you know, like, it's all soberly done.
Yeah.
You know, I'm doing it with
A
you know,
clear
conscience. I know what I'm doing, and that's why I always say that, like, if you think I'm actually stupid, you're stupid. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because it's like
Yeah.
that's not what that is. But yeah.
Okay.
So let's segue a little bit into you, Fiamma, because obviously I could talk about you for days and days and days, but you have the mic as you're so excited to. Clearly, what would you want people to know about you? How would you describe yourself? Because I don't want to do it focus on her name is Fiamma and this is what she does for a living. This like I want you to give your story. Who are you?
That's difficult. I don't really. This is like probably the hardest question for me to. I just don't know where to begin. Like, there are just so many wonderful things. There's so many wonderful things about me. I don't know where to start. But
I can see how you guys are friends.
That's gonna be the comments.
I see
clearly.
the similarities. I see.
Yeah.
But I guess I could begin. I'm Honduran. I was born in Honduras, and then I came to this country when I was about 11 years old. I've been here ever since. I came with my family, who there also are Honduran. My dad is half Honduran, half Jordanian, hence my beautiful features. Okay, anyway. I'm just kidding.
No, she's not.
Don't take me serious.
I don't.
All the time.
I don't.
Yeah, she doesn't. So,
But I'm used to it.
Yeah, this is just like my little sense of humor. And I would say, me as a person, I'm very. I have a strong character. I value.
I say it a lot.
Yeah, I value knowledge a lot. And I think I'm an empath also, like I was telling you. So I think I have both softness and, what would be the opposite of that? I wouldn't say I'm hard. That came out wrong. Strong. Yeah. Toughness.
Well, you're not a man.
Right. That's why I paused. I was like,
Tough.
pause.
Yeah.
Tough. Yeah. But I try to balance both. And yeah, we met actually when we were in college together. We went to UIC. We both graduated from UIC. And yeah, we hit it off, and our friendship has had many layers. But
Ooh, I
it's
wanna
been
know
a
about
good
these
ride.
layers.
We're like onions.
No, God.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
You know, onions have
Yeah.
many layers to peel.
Like literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. Yeah, I feel like so also I've been working on trying to describe myself as me, because a lot of like I've met a lot of people that probably are like, oh, like I do this for a living, and
Right.
that's like their whole
Identity.
Identity.
And especially like after the pandemic, and seeing a lot of my own friends go through a like identity crisis because they lost their jobs and they didn't know what to do with themselves. I was like, yeah, like I would love to, you know, I love my career. I would love what I do for the rest of my life, but I don't want that to be the essence of who I am. Like if I was, I don't know, like a baker, maybe that I'd be like, yeah, I'm a baker, because that would be the essence of what I do every single day. But yeah, I want to be more than just, you know, a baker.
What you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
At the end.
I feel like I could contest to that about you, because you've worked in so many different fields and areas, and one thing about you is you're very much like, if this does not serve me, this no longer serves me, I'm going to move on to something that
Yeah.
does. And I think you're a risk taker in that sense, and I
Yeah.
applaud you for that, and I've talked about that. So like, how do you feel like who you are and how you've built your identity has reflected the moves you've made?
Actually, I feel like it's because of those moves that I've built my identity the way I have.
Can you talk about the moves?
Yeah, I'll get into that in a little bit, but one of the reasons why I don't hesitate to move to another career, or you know, whatever the case may be, is because I need to feel purpose in my life, and I feel like I function at my best when I have a clear purpose. And the bigger the purpose, the more like it excites me and the more efficient I become. It's just like, I don't know, it's kind of like a superpower.
What do you mean the bigger the purpose?
Like the bigger the responsibility or the bigger the mission in my head is, the more like inspiration I get from it, the better I work. So, for example, I've had jobs where I've realized maybe after like a year in, I feel nothing. And I would just hate for my life to be waking up every day to go to work and feel nothing and do nothing and like just have a 9 to 5 and then what?
And be
like
nothing
what
is-
have I done? Yeah, what have I done for myself?
And I think that's something common a lot of people feel,
Yeah.
right? But the difference is a lot of those people
Don't do anything about it. Yeah.
Stay in that position because of fear.
Yeah. And I do understand like fears, right? Because some people like, for example, like this is just very career inclined, but if you've put in like years into something, I could understand why it would take, you would feel like you have more to lose and you wouldn't just get up and leave. You know, especially if you're going to start somewhere new, you're not going to get paid the same. You're, at the bottom of the, hierarchy, whatever the case is. I could see that. Like, it makes sense. But for me, I think my mom always told me, if you're not happy about something, then change it. Change your position or change whatever it is that you're not happy about. But you're not going to be here, be happy and unhappy and complain. And then don't do anything about it.
So when you change careers, how do you find like
How do I go about that process?
No, I'm trying to get like where you find where the purpose, because I'm someone that believes in just your purpose is bigger than anything that you do in this world, And
Yeah.
so I can be working as a barber, but being a barber isn't my purpose, Like I love
What you do
It's what you do
with
for
that.
for the
and
people.
so
Yeah.
my thing is like when you switch from job to job, to me, I'm still doing my purpose. So I don't think something is bigger than the other, but I want to get your perspective and like how does that work in your mind? Like, okay, this purpose is bigger than that purpose,
That's a really good question.
Because my purpose remains the same.
Yeah.
So
I think like when I was younger, part of that was also getting to know myself and knowing like who I was and what it is that I like to do. So for example, I stayed in my first job, I stayed in it for 8 years.
And that was
And it
in what
wasn't-
field?
It was for the city of Chicago. I don't really want to get into all the details, but I stayed in that job for 8 years. Was it a good job? Absolutely not. But did it make me happy at the time? Yes. When I look back at it now that I'm grown, I feel like it was a big, huge mistake that I stayed in there for so long. Because I gained nothing. I didn't gain enough skills. I had a college degree that I should have pursued, that people pushed me to pursue a lot more aggressively, and I didn't. And that's because obviously I was going through a lot of stuff, but then also I didn't have like that much belief and faith in myself. And so it was comfortable for me to be there. And then the other side of that is I did find purpose because I used to feel like I was doing something meaningful. At the end of the day, like I used to work with the youth of the city of Chicago. We used to help them, get jobs. We used to train them. And so the whole part of like training them is like one of the things that I enjoy the most, because I used to love to do that. And then after a while, when I looked at the bigger picture, I just felt like I was too big for that place. Like I had way too much potential to just stay there. Also, when I looked around, there was nobody's life that I wanted.
What do you mean when you looked at the bigger picture?
Of my life, when I think of like where I want to be in like
10
2 years,
years,
5
20
years,
Which
yeah.
was
At that time, like I was like in my 20s, and I was like, where do I want to be when I'm closer to 30? Like, what kind of things do I want to have? What kind of achievements do I want to, have had? And then I was like, am I gonna get those done here? Absolutely not. Like, what have I gained in the years that I've been here? And then so when I made a list of like, it's kind of, you make a list of pros and cons. And my list of pros and cons,
The cons outweighed the
yeah,
pros.
way more. And so I was like, yeah, like I like this, but is this good for me? No. So I need to move. And then I pursued something else, which I know when I pursued the next chapter, I know it wasn't ultimately what I wanted, but it was a stepping stone to hopefully get me closer to something, you know, that I enjoyed. And it was, I think like that served me good because I went from working for like the city of Chicago, I went to like corporate, have a corporate job, which that taught me skills. And I used those skills to get to my next job, which I thought was going to be the career that I was going to stick with, because I was a flight attendant for a while. Mm-hmm. Then I realized when I was, as the pandemic hit also, but that whole period of being a flight attendant, in my experience, was a little bit too rough. Mm-hmm. And I stuck with it because it was so hard that I was like, there's no way, like, I'm going to let this, you know, like get in the way of me seeing it through. And ultimately, the reason why I stopped being a flight attendant is because when I, again, sat back and like evaluated my life, mm-hmm. and I said, where do I want to be in the next 5 years? If in the next 5 years we have another pandemic, there goes my job again. If in the next 5 years I want to have kids, how am I going to be able to do that? Mm-hmm. If in the next 5 years, in order for me to have kids, I need to settle down, how is that going to look like when I'm gone like 80% of the time? And so when I also looked at everybody else's lifestyle, I didn't see me. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay, like I can make this work for me, but realistically speaking, like how much of a balance am I going to have? Like, what are the things that I want? I wanted structure. I wanted balance. I wanted to feel like settled in. I wanted to feel like I had a routine. Mm-hmm. That's the wrong job for all of those things. Yeah. That job is for people that don't want to be in one place, that love to move, that love to be gone.
So I'm trying to link the purpose and as a, you know, versus a job or career or whatever. But I'm not seeming to find the link of like, because you're saying like your purpose has always been bigger. So my question is like, what is Fiamma's purpose? Because you've told us like the history of your jobs. Mm-hmm. So I want to know what is my purpose? What is your purpose? Like what is, because you kind of share that with the youth when you were like there. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I'm like, oh, she's gonna go somewhere with her purpose.
Yeah, I just didn't go much in detail.
So then I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, did I like miss it?
No, it's almost like like she said, each one is kind of a stepping stone leading to a bigger picture. It's almost
but that is of jobs. So I want to know Fiamma's purpose.
I want to help people and I want to be a tool for people. Okay. Right? And for me, I think what I've discovered that I really don't need something specific to be able to do that.
Yes.
Because I can be that as a friend, I can be that as a sister, I can be that as a daughter, I can be that as a woman, right? Yeah. But I feel most fulfilled when I can also do that in my career. Okay. And I think like what I've learned in all of those little things that I've done is that I do like that leadership role. I like to take charge, but I also want the right space to do that. And I want to do it in a place where I see longevity and where I also feel like, regardless of how difficult it is, it's worth it. Because I feel like that will make me more, what's the word that I'm looking for?
Grateful?
No, I think it would just, it kind of like, it will challenge me and I need to constantly be challenged so I can have something that I'm chasing after. Yeah. And what has happened, what has happened to me in the past is sometimes I feel like I master something and then I'm like, what's next? And sometimes I don't have a next. or my next is like years and years away, but there's nothing in between. And so that's part of the reason why I'm like, okay, well, if I feel like I'm not gaining anything in the moment, sometimes, I'm not saying it's always a good thing, but sometimes that's exactly what makes me want to move and chase something bigger.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, I have the belief that I'm a smart woman, that I'm witty, that I can catch on to things, that I like, I'm quick on my feet. And so I want to use my abilities to pursue more. I feel like God has given me certain talents, and I want to make sure that I have like a big enough platform to put them to use,
This
so I
makes
can reach
me
more people.
wonder, do you feel like a lot of your mindset and the way you are, do you think you coming to the United States around 11 years old as an immigrant plays a role into your mindset and how you are and how you're raised? Like,
For a fact.
Yeah.
I actually feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like I'm so behind. Because when the way I grew up, because I didn't grow up here, my life was a lot different and my life looked a lot different. And what I thought my life was going to be like was a lot different. And so coming here, obviously, people I feel like are so ungrateful here. They don't realize the like amount of opportunities that they have. And coming here as an immigrant, it's a little bit harder because you're always, I think most people that I've talked to, we always feel behind. Like we're a step behind.
Yeah.
Like we just didn't catch up on time. Like we just need a little bit more, right? Because realistically speaking, like we have to come here and learn the language, right? So we have to learn the language. We're learning a whole new culture. We're learning a whole new way to live. People think differently. People act differently. They treat you differently. So it's a lot going on already that you're trying to become adjusted to. On top of that, there's like overwhelming amounts of information and things out there that it's kind of like impossible for you to like know everything, especially if you come here and you don't know anybody. It's hard to gain resources. It's hard to know where the resources are. It's hard to ask sometimes because sometimes people don't help you and don't want to help you, right? Because a lot of people have this complex that I want you to do good but not better than me. And so that's, I could go on that forever. But yeah, like when I have that thing, that like fire, that fuel in me because of where I come from and because I've seen poverty and I've seen how people live, and that's why like we value education a lot, because at least like from my perspective or from my story, even a lot of Central Americans that I've met are not very educated, right? Like even, I hate to say this, but like even the way we speak sometimes or the way I hear other people speak, it's just very minimal. And I had the privilege as a kid of being sent to a good school and like being very good at vocabulary and like learning a lot, and my sister did too. And so when I came here, school was like the last of my worries, because I still look at everybody and be like, they're such idiots. Like they're so slow. Like how do you not know like geometry or like algebra? Like I learned this like 2 years ago and you're just learning it now. So yeah, I think it comes from my upbringing and the life that I knew. Because when you grow up, and I think anybody also that comes from like countries that have a lot of poverty can attest to the fact that you grow up and your parents tell you like, if you don't become something, if you don't make something out of yourself, you're gonna end up there like them. And obviously you don't want that and they don't want that. But also coming here is hard. There's just so many moving parts. And so I feel like I have to keep reminding myself that I'm doing the best I can so I can feel better. But the reality is that I still feel like I'm just not doing enough. And I've had this conversation with my sister too, because my sister is 5 years older than me. So when my sister came here, she was already studying to be an engineer.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. And so it wasn't like an easy transition for her to come here and like all of a sudden figure out what it is that she wanted to do. And there's just, like I said, so many moving parts. So we still feel like we're doing okay. Definitely we're doing better than people that have been born here, that have every single privilege, that choose to not do anything with their lives. But I feel like I'm just taking dicks at people.
No, I mean,
you know what's crazy? Like,
be honest.
I just look at it. I just find it very ungrateful. I
see-
just don't understand it.
I see a lot of. It's crazy because I see a lot of you like as like someone that was born here, and then a lot of you as someone that wasn't born here. So a lot of that comes across.
That's because I was kind of raised. If you really think about it, most of my life now it's been here.
Because I got here when I was a year, and I feel like, I mean, I literally have no clue of what it was growing up over there, you know. But yeah, so I do think about it like, oh my God,
Yeah.
like I see where you're coming from, but I think at the same time, I don't.
Like you don't judge people for it, right? Yeah.
But also, you say you're from Central America, right?
I'm Honduran. Yeah.
So
I'm Honduras.
they say as you go more south, and maybe correct.
It gets worse.
No, that the people are more like direct, and I could definitely see that.
I never knew that.
I didn't know. I just know she's direct, but
I could see that a lot because I have people friends that are Costa Rican, friends that are Salvadorian, friends that are Honduran. I can see that, and it's. Someone told me once that I have a lot of friends that are from South Africa, from Cape Town specifically, and they said like, oh no, we're like this over there too, because I was part of a church for like maybe, oh my God, I want to say like 10 years, and they were just so direct, the South Africans, and then the like Central Americans. And I was more like, oh my God, why are you guys so direct? So we had like a recovery home that was part of the church. And we would have this thing where we would be like, oh my God, you're from the ranch, because it was a recovery ranch.
Yeah.
Because in the ranch they were very direct. But I've learned that that's just the way of how some people are.
I would say I've learned to be direct because I didn't grow. I wasn't direct always. I wasn't always this person. I'm just like very comfortable now to just say it.
yeah.
I try to just say it what it is because I also don't want to beat around the bush. But also my mother is very direct, so I think I've taken up after her, and I think we're very comfortable people. I would say that because like even within my family, I see they have different ways to approach things. Like my uncle, I wouldn't say I think he has like a graceful way of being direct, but he's not like.
So you
Not
feel like
like
do you
no.
feel like the women in your family are more direct than the men? Is
Yeah.
that a thing?
Because the women in my family are the.
You know what's crazy?
backbone
In
of-
my family, my grandma was like the matriarch, and my tias. I have from my mom's side, my tias it's 5 women and 2 males, and the women, it's like the Kardashians. like Rob is like super chill, and they're all like super strong, but my mom is the only exception. So my mom isn't like that, and I think Marco said it in one of the episodes that like he basically expects, like not expects, but puts it more on Lucy to like do a lot of the nurturing and a lot
saw
of the
that
raising
episode.
Come on, OG viewer.
of the children. And so
Oh, I got an idea.
it allows me to see like with you, and not that it's something bad. Like
Yeah,
I
no, I
hate,
don't consider it.
I don't want that to come across, but that based on who raises you, which your mom did a lot of that, you embody that, or that really sticks to you, because my mom is actually very chill, and just I feel like more like my mom, and I feel like yeah, and I can see how you're like your mom.
Yeah. Also, like sometimes I think it's a pattern with like families that are mostly like women, because I also think like women just take care of mostly everything. So we just want to cut to the chase.
Yeah.
Like, say what you got to say. Stop wasting my time. I
Yeah.
got stuff to do, you know?
Yeah.
But I definitely can relate to you with people that always are making excuses, and you know I can relate with you. I mean, I feel like you don't have to answer this, but like me, I'm always very honest about me not having papers and how I haven't allowed certain things to stop me from
And that's a perfect example.
from doing that, you know, and so I can definitely relate with that, you know.
And that's a perfect example because, like, el que quiere puede, you know?
Sí.
Like, if you want to, you find a way. Like, and it's not about, like, being easy, because most things that are worth it are going to take time, are going to take a lot of work, are going to take effort, sacrifice. Like, to get to where you want to get to in life and to be in a good place is going to take a lot out of you. And so that's a great example, because for me, like, I had, again, the privilege of our papers being arranged before we came. So I didn't have to go through that path. Still, like, I had to, it was very rough. I'll just put it this way. It was like very rough for a big part of my life, or of our lives. But I've seen other people that, like you, for example, that don't have the same privilege that I was able to have, but yet they still find a way to hustle, to become something, to use their gifts, to do stuff for the community, to give back. And so I'm like, it's just, I think sometimes it's just the kind of person that you are, your upbringing, or kind of like even your environment. Because for me, I always think of, even when I've gotten complacent, I don't have the privilege to, like, for example, be home and like whine or mope or feel sorry for myself. Like, no, like, unacceptable.
Yeah.
And some people, I feel like that's kind of the excuse that they use.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like, this is the card, like, life handed me, and you know, and then they look for the world, like, they blame the world for their problems.
Woe is me.
Yeah, and yeah, whatever.
And even though, like, I completely
Yeah.
agree with not completely agree, but I completely get it.
Yeah.
But
You don't
I don't
agree?
completely agree. but-
I you know what, like, I've always been like this, like, even though, like, I completely get it, because it's like I don't have papers, you know,
Yeah.
and I've had to, like, really
Hustle to
hustle
make a
and
name out of
bustle and
yourself
just,
and-
you know.
Yeah.
But I just
You're
think,
doing amazing, sweetie.
thank you. But something that I tell my brother, because my brother thinks like you. My brother, the second oldest, the one you met actually at a bar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, him. He thinks like that, and I just tell him, like, things affect people differently, you know.
100%.
And to tell you that I, in a sense, haven't felt like socially crippled by not having papers, would be an understatement, you know, because you do feel like that, you know. Now, thank God that I've had a good support system.
Yeah.
And so because of that, I've been able to just, you know,
Yeah.
come out on top, you know.
I think that's very important, what you just said too, like having a strong support system. So for example, like, I could speak as her best friend, right? It's important to have people around you that hold you accountable, that don't allow you to be woe is me all the time.
Yeah.
Like, she'll be the first one to tell me, like, feel it, cry until there's no tears left to cry.
Yeah.
But then what are you going to do about it? Right? And I think going way back to our affirmations, like, no, I can't, I won't, however many words that was.
6.
6. I think the important part of that is having a support system with people that hold you accountable and don't make you feel like you're going against yourself for putting up those boundaries, people that respect your boundaries, and people that advocate for you and like defend you when you're not in the room. In that sense. And that's what Fiamma is for me.
Yeah.
And she's always been. And I think hearing her talk a little bit about her upbringing and her background, it makes sense why we are like this.
Yeah.
Like, why she is my right hand.
Yeah.
Why she's my person.
I feel like also, I've always known this about our friendship. I feel like nobody understands her drive as far as like career wise more than me, because even when I, look at like the way her mom is and some of her family like interactions and like the way she was raised too, like it's very similar to mine. So I totally understand it, because my mom is like the biggest factor of like she's the first one to tell us like become something, make something out of yourself, become something, like whatever you have up here, like nobody can take away. Nobody can make you feel less than. If you're smart, you're gonna find a way, you're gonna figure it out. And so she's always kind of put that like importance on like use your brain, like use your an able body, like put that to work, and like also she's never put stipulations on like age. Like for her, it's like, well, it's never too late. Study, like there's information, read a book, look in the internet,
Be resourceful.
Yeah. And talking about support, I feel like support is the biggest factor, because even for me, I've been able to change my mind, so to speak, and make changes in my life because I have the biggest and the greatest support system. I think I know that I didn't always have that, and I look at my quality of life when I did it, and it was completely different. And it ties to what you said about like your experiences. So I honestly, like, everybody's journey and story is different, and I don't judge them for it. But I'm more so coming from the perspective of like the people that have it, that have all of that, that have support system, that have like things to work with, that have resources, that have, even their parents might have a little bit more than the next person, right? And they still just choose to not. They're just kind of like wasted potential, wasted talents. That's kind of like where that's the part where I want to hit, because everybody else is like, some people, man, they're just trying to do their best to make it.
Yeah, I completely get it. Like, you don't. I feel like it's not something that.
It was for more so for the viewers.
But and this is the thing. What I choose not to do is I choose not to put my attention to that, because it's like, why address something that is gonna? It's like.
Yeah,
you're not moving, so
like 1 year out the correct. Why am I gonna waste my time telling you ain't gonna do nothing
what
about
I
it?
try to do is I try to refocus my attention on the people that are, it's like I'm stepping into this new season where like I cut people off.
Both of us do.
Real quick, that their energy is off, that they think because of some reason that we know each other that they can just fucking redirect their bad energy to me. So then I just, you're cut off.
Fuera.
So that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Like I don't even address that no more.
Yeah.
I only address it with like, I'm literally, there's no way of me like holding back from it when it's just affected me just today.
Yeah.
Like
I wouldn't say I address it either, to be honest. I think like, obviously I'm talking about it now. And I think I also like, I'm aware that like I have to be careful with that, because like I said in the beginning, I have a very strong character.
Yeah.
And I know that I can be black and white about a lot of things.
Yeah.
And when I say black and white, I mean like
and white.
I don't have a middle ground.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, you know how there's surveys where you like strongly agree, strongly disagree. I love to be one or the other.
Yeah.
Because the middle ground, there's just like, sometimes you need context, whatever. I don't walk middle lines. I like people that are one side or the other, because even if you're on the wrong side, I respect you for like standing there, knowing exactly what it is that you want or what you believe in. But the people that walk middle grounds, I don't kind of trust.
Yeah.
I'll say it that way, because they can swing either way. But that's a conversation for a different day. But I do address it because, one, I'm comfortable. So the people that know me, that have enough context to like know how I am and my background, obviously I can have those conversations with them. But even like with some of my friends, like I'm not gonna go up there and be like, why aren't you doing this? Like, you could do more. Like, who needs rest? Who needs sleep? Like, no, I'm not that person.
Welcome to boot camp.
I like to give people their privacy, their space.
You know what I can say?
You be.
I can applaud you for just your pursuit of your purpose. Even if at times, like you've shared, it hasn't been cleared or clear, sorry. It hasn't been clear. You've always it seems like you've been pursuing it, and no one can get in your way. Like, no, you can't get in the way of me pursuing what my purpose is, even if at times it isn't clear. I have a question for, I guess, you guys, both of you guys. And I think we can probably end it with this question.
Okay.
But my question is, describe the perfect day for you.
The perfect day?
The perfect day, not date. The perfect day. You already have, your purpose is clear. What does that day look like?
You have it?
You could
I have
answer it.
it.
You're the guest.
I have it.
Okay, go ahead. She's like, I'm president. No, I'm just kidding.
Again, like some things are just very clear to me. So my perfect day would be I wake up early. I have my favorite breakfast, avocado with some eggs and a side of like protein with some hot sauce, a little bit of ketchup. And then I work out. When I'm done doing my workout, it's still early enough where I have the rest of the day to either like run my errands, take care of my responsibilities. And then once I get that done, I still have time for me. Even though the gym is time for me, I need more time for me. So whether it is time to self-care, to read, to go for a walk, to watch a movie, to like spend it with somebody, to go visit my sister, whatever it is, I like to have days where I feel so productive that I still at the end of the day, I feel like I did something for myself to make me happy.
Yeah. I love that.
And then, like I've grown to love productive days, so I try to fit in a lot of stuff. And if I don't have time to be productive or have that little bit of like extra time for me, another substitute for that is maybe a day where I can do something for somebody else to make them happy.
Yeah.
No.
I love it.
So some of ours are similar and then some are completely not. I would like to wake up not too early, but not too late, like 9 o'clock. That's nice. And then I love when I start my days with rehearsals with my dancers, with my students. We have
I love that.
Saturday morning rehearsals, and like
So Saturday.
I feel like it'll be a Saturday.
Yeah.
I love Saturdays. I feel like it sets my mood. It sets my tone for the day.
that.
I wake up in good spirits. This concept of like doing something for others, but just like I genuinely get joy from watching my students develop skills and just have fun and build character. Like I love doing that. I think my biggest passion is watching others learn and grow. And I get the luxury of seeing students coming in at 14 years old and leaving me in high school at 18, and then they're still there. And they're 27 and they're still there, right? Yeah. So let's start off there. I love me a good lunch. So I will go get lunch. I don't know where, but I love me a good lunch. I'm not cooking it. I'm going to get it. And then I'm going to go home. Time for myself. I love a bubble bath, like self-care, hair mask, all that. Then I'm going to get ready and I'm going to go somewhere outdoors. It's summer.
Yeah, she
So
wants
I'm
to
going
stay
to
in her
go,
asshole.
I'm going to go like on a boat. I'm going to go on a boat.
Oh, you love
And
a
on
boat.
that boat are my girlfriends, my like family,
Fiamma,
my hell
right
yeah.
next to you.
Like we're gonna be on the boat. We're gonna
matching suits.
We're gonna have a good time on the boat. Then from the boat, we're all gonna go get dinner like at a patio or rooftop or right off of the beach, like one of those restaurants on the beach. And then I'm gonna go home, take a nap, shower, and then we're gonna go out dancing.
I love that.
And this is with my friends and my family.
So you-
This is a really long day, 'cause you
but
woke
this
up
is who
kinda
I am.
late.
But this is
Damn.
but
'Cause you
this
woke up
is-
kinda
But this is who I am.
Yeah,
like
it is.
I love being surrounded by my people.
I love that.
Like that makes me happy. Like I am definitely an extrovert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
So
that.
it's like the mix of self-care, doing for others, and just like
your
enjoying
Community.
your people, community. Yeah. What's
Yeah,
yours?
that
And then
is
we'll
such a
wrap it
happy
up.
day.
Yeah, it is.
My perfect day would be, so a lot of you guys that have been watching know that my mom's in Mexico, waiting her papers. So my perfect day would probably be, my mom's already back, from,
that.
and I would wake up late like you, Saturday. Probably I would go get like Herbalife with my mom, even though like, I know everybody doesn't agree with that. With the Herbalife, I do like their shakes. So I would go with my mom to do that. Then we would probably get like a early morning thrift. Me and my mom love to do that. So we would go thrifting together. Probably stores for the store now that we have. Then we would go back to we would go to the store where my brother's working. Probably my brothers would be there at the same time watching like a game or something. And then I would cut hair, and my mom just learned how to cut hair. So if you guys don't know, our business is connected. It's a store with the studio in the back, and so we would probably be cutting hair together. And yeah, it would be a Saturday productive day of
Look at all of us with Saturdays.
doing business, making money, but with my family. I think that's something that
You know what I
love.
noticed? The way we describe our days have a lot to do with like how we function. And I think both of you have like this like extroverted thing about you, because you both mentioned doing it with people. And my entire day was by myself.
And this is where we find the similarities and the differences. Yeah.
And yeah, I actually, I do like to eat, like I said, substitute would be doing something for somebody else, whether it's like spending time with them or like physically doing something for them.
There's two types of people in the world.
Yeah. But I can't do people too much sometimes, because it takes all the energy out of me.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm trying to learn from that. I really am, because
But if that's not you, that's very natural. Like my sister and I are completely different. She loves people.
Just like me.
but
Yeah.
I think sometimes there's a balance, you know.
Correct.
I feel, and I think it's beautiful. Like you said, there's two types of people.
Yeah.
None is better than the other one.
Yeah.
We're all people.
Yeah, of course.
Any day with my mother is a beautiful day.
Absolutely. Amen.
Love you, Ma.
And I feel like our episode wouldn't be complete and we cannot end it without hearing Marco's voice. Because
Oh, yeah.
there is like one or two viewers that are so upset because they have not heard his voice once. And I'm not going to do it to his one or two fans.
Why? What did I do?
What's your perfect day,
Just
Marco?
What's your perfect day?
Yeah.
My perfect day.
Yours
would
is
be-
very different from ours for
That's very productive.
multiple reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, my perfect day would probably be waking up, having enough time to spend some time with my family, with Madeline and my wife, going and Mateo in a few weeks.
He's coming.
And Mateo, going to work, not getting any phone calls, and just working, and then going to see a couple properties, and then getting home at like 7:00. That'd be probably my perfect day. So similar to what I do now, except for having time in the morning and not getting so many phone calls.
Okay.
But yeah, that's mine.
Do not disturb. Put it on.
Literally.
I mean, I admire my man's ability to get shit done, like
Yeah.
to pack a day and like be so productive.
And still be a
try to
family
learn.
man.
Yeah, I try to learn from that actually.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Fiamma, we want to say thank you for coming. Thank you for
you
being
for having me.
For being
Thank you, Tati's bestie.
Thank you, Tati's bestie.
Tati's
Thank you for being
bestie.
an OG viewer. Thank you for being
Oh yeah,
supportive.
thank you for the support.
Like from
Oh,
the
wait,
day
wait, wait.
I wanted to ask that.
the day I told her I was doing this podcast,
Yeah.
she was so excited for me.
Yeah.
She was already like,
She talks a lot. She's great for this. Just
yeah.
kidding.
She was already like, okay, if you're gonna say that, like she was the first one to be like, look, you're doing this, you gotta stand by what you say and like
Say
don't
it with
hold
your
back,
chest.
say it with your chest. So like she is my biggest advocate for like
Don't apologize.
don't ask
for being
for
yourself.
no, ask for forgiveness, not for permission.
Yeah.
Okay, since you're like the OG and OG viewer, close us out. Close us out.
Okay, close this out, Fee. Let's see if you know how to
Let's
close
see
this
if
out.
it's-
Let's see how this
you're
works.
the real deal.
Let's see.
You put me on the spot.
Yeah, let's go, OG.
Guys, you can follow us on social media.
Why you saying it like that?
You sound like
Okay,
you're,
what's our handle?
Thank you for watching.
What's our
Okay,
handle?
okay, go.
Oh,
you
thank
sound
you.
like you're in the
Okay.
kidnap
Talk
video.
with Tati at the Brow Bro and at Fiamma. Thank you for tuning in. And this is Never Too Shy.
Yes,
Don't forget to
never too
follow
shy.
us at Never Too
Too
Shy
Shy
Pod.
Pod.
And email us at, do you know
And
this one?
subscribe on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, period.
Ooh.
Like, comment, and
You're
subscribe.
hired.
Boom.
She's hired.
All right, we love you guys. See you on
Bye.
the
Thank
next
you
one.
guys. See you.